This is the point of the conference where I have the least amount of anxiety, and this slideshow is going to be whatever it is at this point. So it's basically, I took the opening slides, cloned them, deleted some things, added some things, so there might be some elements in here that don't even belong. But I did change it to goodbye from SAINTCON instead of welcome to. Yeah, that's what, this is kind of the social experiment of lack of sleep and what it does to a human being. Anyways, I'm gonna go just through a couple of slides. We're not gonna take very long because we're gonna get to the closing ceremonies part, which is where we're talking about all of our contests, communities, events, and people and things. But I just wanted to mention a few pieces of housekeeping again. This conference is made possible by this great organization that sometimes... Okay, watch out for the TVs. All right. It's like a raptor attack. I had no idea that was happening.
It's your lack of sleep.
It is. It's my lack of sleep. But I don't even know who those people are. I heard that one of them was Zodiac, but Zodiac is not all 5 of them. I mean, could be. Could be. Anyways, the Utah Saint organization is a nonprofit organization that runs this conference. And we've got a wonderful board that meets together very infrequently and a conference planning committee that meets together very frequently. And we somehow pull off this type of event. I did want to mention food, snacks, and sodas in here, only from the standpoint to make sure you went out and got some food if you hadn't got any already. But hopefully you enjoyed the free, on-demand, caffeinated beverages thing. Was that a good thing again? Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, though. I don't think we have statistics, but Danny, man, if you've got stats on that, that'd be kind of cool. I'm just going to do a broad stroke approach here to the conference planning committee. We could spend 20 minutes per person talking about the time, the effort, and the energy that gets put into here. In the opening ceremonies, I kind of mentioned, it takes 6 months worth of planning to pull off an event like this. And it's not just a little bit of 6 months, it's all of 6 months. Nights, weekends, more weekends, weekdays, nights, and everything else. And these folks put in a ton of that time and effort, and I really appreciate what they do, but they've become a family. I mean, we come over to my house and we do barbecue now, and we do all these kinds of things together, and we just talk about SAINTCON. It's kind of weird, but it happens. But I want to just say thank you to them. That's low praise for the amount of time and energy they put in, but they need to be recognized, and so I appreciate them.
Hey, let's also do a special thanks for Troy. I know we have to do this every year. I'm just going to cut to the chase. Troy, I think you led us to put on the best SAINTCON ever this year, so thank you very much for your leadership.
We do think that this is probably one of the best ones we've ever been able to pull off. And it's also because of you. There are 1,700 plus of you out there. We've had more people check in this year and collect their badge and everything than ever before. And so there's basically 1,700 of you that have come through the conference center in the last couple of days in one way or another. And and I just want to say, we do this conference for you, for the community. It's a labor of love. It's building community. It's what we're trying. Our mission is to educate and build community in the cyber security realm within the state of Utah and now way beyond as an organization. So anyways, we do it because of you as well. I do still want to mention our sponsors. I know sometimes it seems weird, or not weird, that it's like, hey, well, we got to mention the sponsors. I want to say that we do this type of event because of partners in these spaces. Whether it's Valcom and CompuNet, who are our event partners this year that brought content and brought finances and other things to really make the thing that you're dangling around your neck and that you've had so much fun with probably this year possible. Those financial contributions make those sort of things possible. There's so many other sponsors that we've involved. I don't want to name them all by name, but they're mentioned here on this slide. Every single one of these have contributed in some way, shape, or form to the conference this year, and we really appreciate their involvement. And we're going to continue to involve sponsors because we want to make sure that you also have the ability to reach out and find good solutions to security and IT problems that you're experiencing. And we know that some of these vendors have some great products, or all of them probably have great products, but in different areas of need. And then the last shout out I'll do here, it's a little bit, I don't know if it's self-serving. It's not like we sell things or anything else, but the Utah Education and Telehealth Network is my day job. And they are an amazing organization that allow me to donate some of my time to doing what we do here at the conference. They help us with staffing, and they ran the education cybersecurity track this year, which was a change from previous years. And we wanted to bring back that feel, that original feel of what this Utah Saint conferences used to be. And I think that they did a really good job up there. So I want to just recognize them and their contributions to the conference as well. And then I'm going to go through and just, it's kind of a thanktimony, right, of sorts, right? I want to thank our keynotes. We flew them out here. They've traveled to be here, and it couldn't have gone off better. So Joe Grand and Nicole Beckwith, if you're in the audience, right here, thank you, thank you, thank you. And even though I don't have a slide and cool caricatures, but we had Iceman come all the way from Sweden. And El Cantero coming all the way from Japan. So I think this can easily go down in history as the most international participants we've ever had. Maybe not, but I don't know. But we appreciate them bringing their communities. Iceman has a community of 9,000 RFID people in a Discord server that all they talk about is RFID and, hey, where's the latest firmware? Where's the latest firmware? I need that super secret firmware kind of thing. But they bring their communities and they share it with us. And so please go join some of those other communities. I'm going to transition. Again, I don't know what order the slides really came in at this point, but I walk around the conference a lot. Sometimes only 10 feet at a time, and it's kind of an ongoing joke because I can't move 10 feet without having to meet somebody and talk with them and tell them I'm out of mini badges. But I do get asked a lot of questions, and the one I get asked the most, and I wanted to just clear it for everybody in the room, is how do I get involved as a volunteer, staff member, or committee member to plan and get involved in this conference? And the answer is it's a very organic thing, okay? You just get involved. You go meet the people in the contest, the communities, the events, and you lend a hand and you get involved and you ask, hey, how can I help you? I do coding. What can I code for you? Those kinds of things are some of the best ways to get involved at that organic and deep level if you're really wanting to do that. The other official ways of getting involved is we do official calls for contests, communities, events, sponsors, and other things early in the year. Between about the months of March all the way through June, different portions of those get released. And so you're welcome to respond to those and get involved in at a more kind of higher level if that's what you want to do. But here is my other recommendation that I didn't get a chance to tell everybody, is that if this is your first time at SAINTCON, or even your second, or sometimes maybe even your third time attending this conference, it's not time yet for you to necessarily get involved in the planning. We know that that's kind of the next level for you and what you want to do, but my recommendation is be an attendee first and learn our culture and learn our community and learn what it is that we're about, so that when you do join in those ranks, that becomes part of how you participate or contribute to this community. So just wanted to make sure, because there's a lot of first-year people saying, hey, how do I volunteer and things. I'll tell you what, Where's Mav? Is Mav in the room? Just yell out if you are. He might be down there in the hardware hacking community still. Yeah, cleaning up or whatever. But I'll tell you what, that guy has been a volunteer forever, but he never gets to see any of the conference because he's a volunteer. Be an attendee first and have a good time, and then come in and contribute. We pulled the slide up yesterday. Provo did call again and said they're really out of AA batteries. I think that they also left a voicemail, something about, we need you guys out of the city because this is not good, or I'm just teasing, but yeah, like not only do we not have AAAs, but we've got some weird things coming from downtown and things. I wanted to just briefly mention trainings one more time. We know that that was kind of a last minute thing. Some of you might not have even heard that we did that. We're going to make that even more official, more well documented, and understood how to get involved in those. But those were a huge success, a huge hit for a lot of you, and we want to make sure that we scratch that itch for you. Okay, was it the year of the mini badge or not? Yeah. So there were, to my understanding, the ones that I know about that we either helped kit or whatever, almost 40,000 official style mini badges, whether that's contests, communities, events, badge game, all the other things that we put together just from the concept or from the side of SAINTCON and the conference. And then we saw now almost 500 different models of mini badges of personal styles that have been shared throughout the conference. It's blown us away on how cool and interesting the designs, the memes, the mementos, and the meaningfulness that is the artistic expression that you bring on your mini badges. It's been really cool to see those. My pockets have been full, not with mini badges to give away, normally is what it is, but with all of the mini badges people want to make sure that we get and put in our archives and things. And so we're gonna be doing that. You'll probably see many of your mini badges in those archives that we had downstairs. Hold on, somebody's calling me. It's not Provo, it's Midvale this time. I think the ooze is moving north. I'm not going to answer that because it doesn't have a name on it, and that's how I roll, by the way. Anyways, mini badges. I just want to mention, mini badge building is very approachable. Many of us, especially those of you that are first-time attendees of SAINTCON, think, oh man, PCB design, electrical engineering, it's super complicated. Like, how am I ever going to learn this? Well, first of all, there's some old YouTube videos that we need to update sometime soon that help you learn those types of things. But let me just say, it's approachable. And if you want to have the coolest, most easy way to network with other people at a conference like this, bring a mini badge and hand it out. Get to talk to as many different people as you have mini badges for, and then some. But most of the some after you've run out, you're just saying, I don't have any more. I don't have any more. Yeah, and don't just hand them out, talk. Like, one of the best experiences that I have is that I've now learned that I have one day at the conference where I don't schedule any talks or other things for me to do, that I can just walk around and talk with people and catch up. And it seems like I get to meet fewer and fewer of you each year, too. Anyways, enough about mini badges. Just to say, we thank all those of you that brought your own and contributed to that community as well. But let's talk about the badge. I think that it was a hit this year. And normally we just invite Mike to come up and take a bow and just say, hey, we'll see you next year or whatever. But what I'd like to do is just really quickly invite the entire badge team up here, if they're here. Is Mike even here? Okay, they're over there. Sorry, I should have mentioned in advance that you were going to be like invited on screen, on the stage and stuff. But there's a bunch of them. They're on this slide, but there's more than that are on this slide. I don't know if you take a real bow or not, but you know, hey. But if you attended the badge talk this morning, you got to hear some behind the scenes things about how quickly these guys were able to mobilize and pull off something truly amazing and pulling this badge together in literally a couple of months. I mean, the badge hardware was designed fairly early. We knew what we were going to be doing there, but the software, the code, the development, the story, all of those things came in about 3 weeks, right before the conference. In fact, I think that we were still finalizing things Monday night during the pre-reg event. Those badges were flashed with the first firmware Monday night right before you all showed up to register.
You're welcome.
Anyways, it was amazing. They deserve a huge round of applause. They will be back next year, right? I'm just getting the verbal nods right now. And also, let me just say, for those of you that had a good time with the badge, the game, and the interaction, I'll say, I'm just going to pull a number out of my hat. This is the one I've been quoting all week, but only about 20% of what was actually planned and hoped for had actually had time and all of the capabilities of being implemented. So we've got about an 80% process to get us to next year, and it's going to be even cooler. So there you go. One more round of applause. One more Clippy impersonation. Do you want to narrate? Oh, you can't do it without the headband. Oh, hold on.
Oh, there you go.
It was not the creamsicle headband.
There we go. I think I got one left in me.
Hey, listen, you think you won?
All right. And while we've got Chris up here, why don't you pick up that little thing right there? That's for you. He knows what it is. We all know what it is. I'm going to tell you what it is. It's a big old bottle of chimichurri sauce. Now, for those of you that missed out on it, because when I went through the lunch line, it was in these little bowls, and nobody probably knew what it was, but it's some of the best stuff that these guys create in this convention center, and so we take it by the bottle when you guys don't eat it all. So anyways, he likes it the best, and Danny brought it by. Thanks, Danny, for letting that. We'll let you off the stage, unless there's other comments you want to make about badge, like, okay. Then let's do that now. Here's the more about the badge slide.
All right. For those who weren't at the talk, just wanted to talk real quick about how much engagement we had this year, because it was ridiculous. So, out of 1,700 badges and people that came, 1,321 people turned on the badge and created a character. Like, that is ridiculous. Last year, out of 1,500 people-ish, about 500 people played the badge game. So, freaking awesome. So, thank you all for playing. We had so much fun watching everyone play it, and we are going to try to do it better next year. Thank you.
All right. Well, we're going to move over and I'm going to briefly talk about some of the events that we had this year. We had more contests, committee, and events than ever. I hope that you had an opportunity to either find some of these, because some of them are kind of mysterious, or attend some of these. One of the ones that we want to make sure that we're recognizing is the Family Night event. How many of you brought family to the Family Night event last night? Okay. I'm assuming that you had a good time and that your kids had a great time. We're sorry about hopping them up on sugar at 9 o'clock at night, but it kind of goes without, whatever. But that great event is made possible by many of the spouses and other close associates and things of the SAINTCON planning committee. And so all of they call themselves the widows groups because it used to be that, hey, all of the husbands and folks went to the conference and they got to stay home and didn't get to come to the conference. Now we make sure that they're part of it. We appreciate so much their involvement and being here. And so give them a round of applause. They're all over the place. They plan that event, they execute it, it does amazing things. We think that teaching STEM-related skills and having a lot of fun with those things is the best way to get kids involved in these types of careers and opportunities. But there's several other events that went on. I hope that you took some advantage of some of them. Hack in the Box was off the chain this year. It was kind of the place to hang out in the evenings. We need more space. All right, communities, so many communities, so many well-done communities. Not to shout out one more than any other, but the Keep did it pretty darn well with the decorations and everything else. What an amazing job. And it was packed the whole time. They did the heck out of the theme and such. So very much appreciate them. That is another independent community. That is the DC 801 or the 801 Labs group that pull together and do those kinds of things and then bring their content, expertise, and capabilities to SAINTCON to share with the world. So many other of these groups and folks that contribute. I'm not going to have time to name them all here, but I want to transition over to our contests and challenges and things. You can come on up, Zevlag. And then one of the things that we do at SAINTCON is we love to play around and have challenges and fun things to do. One of our prolific games, it's the center icon on the slide here, is our Hackers Challenge game. And it's one of the only contests that we award something called the Black Badge. And a black badge, and I have a slide for that because that's what it looks like even, if you guys want to make it big and such. You haven't even seen it yet.
Seen this yet.
Yeah.
No.
Do you want me to zoom it in for you?
I'll be fine. I'll see it after.
Of course. Actually, let me just say, I know that you have like a hard time with sight, right? It's one of those things. And if you went over to his Hackers Challenge talk or any of his talks and you see him leading you through things, you can very quickly see how adept this guy has become at managing his ability to do things on a computer. It's zoom in, zoom out, zoom around, right? It makes all of the rest of us sick, but it's so awesome that you've adapted to that and can produce all of the things you do, even with that. But we have a black badge that we'll be awarding for the Hackers Challenge Prize,
That's
I
correct.
guess.
Yes.
And I'm going to unplug. I got a slide for you and Zodiac to just be up here on stage, but I'll leave it there. You can plug in and do what you're going to do.
Did you have a community slide for Zodiac or?
Or are we going to do? Okay.
Yeah, we'll let him go first.
We'll do communities because I kind of brushed over them, thinking, I'm just going to talk about communities. Is that one? It's around there somewhere. There you go. There's communities.
All right. So, are we good?
Yeah.
All right. Communities. How many people spent at least one full day's worth of content downstairs in a community? How many people spent at least 2 full days worth of content downstairs in a community?
How many people actually went to talks?
I do communities because I love the communities. I'd rather go and spend time with my hands-on, getting stuff done, learning things, and it wouldn't be possible without the phenomenal talent that puts those things on and puts the effort in to make it happen. If we can do 2 seconds, just give a general applause for the staff. I know Troy did this before, but we can't, in my mind, we can't applaud them enough for the effort they put into things and what they do. So if we can just, those. And then I just want to take 2 seconds on each of the communities, run through and do a couple of highlights. This Eiffel 65 Blue Team is one that we've been begging for years at SAINTCON. We want Blue Team content. There are more people are in Blue Team careers than Red Team careers, but the Red Team gets all the glamour, and we were so excited to have someone come in and say that they were willing to teach Blue Team tools. and this was their first year, and we gave them a really steep learning curve, and they took that learning curve and ate it pretty well, and they did a good job delivering and did a lot of things for us. But then the ID IoT is another one that was a first year that came in this year. The Internet devices and the Internet of Things, they did a lot of industrial control systems and things. And these are guys that have been doing it at DEF CON for years, and they know their stuff, and they are deep down the rabbit hole, and we are extremely grateful that they brought their talents to share with us. They partner closely with the contest that Josh will be talking about in a minute. AppSec is back for another year this year. Again, the Seths have killed it and rocked it there for us. They did a great job teaching people, and I love that this year they brought in a little bit more of a beginner-friendly, first-time attendee. I don't know anything. I don't know any Python. What can I do? And they did a great job with that challenge we gave them this year of no code barrier to entry to get in there. Hardware hacking is always just nails it. Their mini badges make sure that's never going away. It's going to be here forever. Healthcare hacking, this is brought on by Brucifer. If you haven't met him, he's a great guy. And he has a passion for this like no one I have ever met. And I love to see the passion that goes into this and the love for not just a product, but I personally like it because it makes my data safer and it makes me better when I go into a hospital and I go and get healthcare because he has hooks into the industry to actually make things better. Troy talked about the Keep. The Keep gave me stats, and I don't have my phone up, so I apologize, Bash. I'm not going to quote your stats. But they did do an amazing job, as Troy said. They spun up tons of VMs. They brought their own infrastructure. They built it out. And if you did not get to play that, I highly recommend you go play that. It is a fantastic game that you play that also involves hacking.
I'd like to call it not only did they play a game, but they walked you through it. They gave you cheat sheets. They taught you how to be a pen tester.
Yeah. Home Labs, again, second year back, totally nailed it, did amazing. I love them every time, and I love this because this is your way to show passion. I've had 20 people ask me how do they get a job. Build a home lab. Show your passion at your house. Space came in the first year they've done this. Amazing community. People that do this for their day job came and shared their talent and their skills and their knowledge with everyone here. Phenomenal opportunity to go and learn a little bit about satellites that you may not have ever heard before. Tamper Evident. Did anyone play Tamper Evident? Who broke their first seal without signs of it being broken? Or who broke a seal without signs of it being broken? I'd like to point out that there are some little girls. How old are you? 10. Who thinks they can do the tactical skill of a 10-year-old? Go do it. It's fun. AI did awesome. I'm going to speed up because I'm taking too long. Troy's over here shuffling his feet because I'm slow.
Not shuffling my feet.
No, the AI came in. They did a really good job, and they had some phenomenal discussions. There was a lot of good talk, smart people in the area. Lockpick, Keenan and Odie stepped it up and turned it up to 11 this year. If you didn't go there because in the past it was just locks on a table, you really, really missed out. It was phenomenal before, and it was mind-blowing this year. They turned it up to 12. They didn't turn up to 11. Like, they nailed it. RFID was great. Iceman's here. He kind of motivated and lit a fire under IceLinks or FOI to get that, to step things up there a little bit. He was a little bit nervous about his pressure to deliver.
Like Iceman's showing up? Oh, man. I better do something cool.
Circuit hacking was a lot of fun. The amount of information contained in Hamster's brain is staggering. He has more information in his pinky than I have in all of me, and the fact that he comes to share that with us is awesome. That education security track upstairs, Corey did that. If you were involved, you know what you did, you know what it does, and you know what it means to you. It does a lot for the education community to have that and to reach out to those people and to reach them specifically. I saved the last two that I want to talk about for the end. Briefs. Who participated, either watched or spoke in the briefs community? Who loved what they did in the briefs community? That's pretty close to a 1-for-1. If you didn't do this, this is like lightning talks. Next year, we want to bring it back. We want to do it. This is one of the things that I have always wanted to do because people want to present, but they're afraid. And briefs is that time. You have 10 minutes. There's only a small audience. There's only like 20 chairs in the room, so it can't be a really big audience. It's your time to practice a presentation or learn. And then the last one I saved here, Badge Life. We've talked about badge, but I like to talk about the other side. Shifty nailed it with designing badges, with sharing badges, with facilitating sharing badges, with all the things. And so if you shared a badge, thank Shifty. Or a mini badge, thank Shifty. If you got a good one, he probably was involved in the design, whether he designed one of mine, because I had an idea and 30 seconds later, the design was in my inbox. And that's just how he works. But again, thank you to all the communities. Thank you to everyone for what you did. Everything was orders better than it's ever been, and we loved it. I love the opportunity, and thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hold this for a second. Yeah. Is that up? Okay. So first slide I have here is a. Did it sync up? Do you got it on your screen down there, AV?
He wants to trade, so it's on the confidence.
Okay, great. Just make sure that you can see my slide. Or did it not come? Okay, great. So this would be my last slide as well as my first slide. If you have feedback for the communities and contests, please send it to us.
Please, really, like good, bad, otherwise, we want to hear. Volunteers, staff, content, all of it. We want to hear about it.
So you've heard about a lot of our contests. Some of them overlap with others. But we're going to run through them quick. I'm not going to talk about all of them. We're going to do prizes and awards. So let's go through these. First of all, we had the ICS escape room. I'm not awarding it separately on stage, but they brought it in this year. A really cool escape room. Run groups of 5 to 10 people through at a time. You either passed or you didn't get out. But they walked you through it and they taught you, and you hopefully learned along the way. They realized how important our community was, and they plan to come back and open up and make it a little bit more inclusive for everybody.
We appreciate their willingness to come and to adapt to our unique environment at SAINTCON. They are amazing people.
So if you did ICS escape room, your prize was escaping.
And if you didn't escape, I'm sorry. We'll take down the room later.
Fox Hunt Challenge. This was a new one here at SAINTCON this year. And we had some awesome staff that really knocked it out of the park. Hopefully you had a lot of fun. I was honestly surprised and blown away at how many of you played the Fox Hunt Challenge.
And we had an awesome Zevlag who nailed it out of the park with the award.
So this year the award was self-awarded. Won't be on stage, but they were this fox is what was found after you completed the various other 6 foxes that need to be hunted each day. And so 10 of these went home to people that completed and found all 6 foxes every day. So they got their prizes, and they're beautiful. Another new admission to the contest this year was the Cat 5 cable making contest. I hear some groans out there. Hopefully you had some fun. There were a lot of people that played. We are going to prize a first place winner on there. For a long time, Jupiter was at the top of that list, and then we had Alex, and then we had some back and forths. It was competed all the way down to right at 10 o'clock this morning on the times, and our first place was John. So give us some applause. And here's the scoreboard.
The coolest thing about, sorry if I can jump in. The
Yeah.
coolest thing about this was not a contest until DEF CON happened. Somebody saw it and said, that's awesome. And they made it happen between DEF CON and SAINTCON from concept to delivery in just a few weeks. And so,
Made with love by Vortex.
yeah.
Thank you,
awesome.
Vortex.
Mad props to Vortex for seeing something cool and making it happen.
So what you're seeing here on the right-hand side, these are times. Cat 5 cable made and tested in 1 minute and 12 seconds. Both ends. No tool touched the cable until the time started. So it's amazing. So I'm going to say here, if your name is mentioned up here as a prize or a contest winner, please come up here after the closing ceremonies. We have prizes for you. Next contest, we had the Vault Challenge. They brought back a bunch of safes, upped the game with more for you to participate on and to learn, even when you're not competing. Woo!
We love you too, JC.
So I'm going to call out that we had a lot of competition, and second place came in at a tie, same number of points. And so we had DC 702 and Kevin and Haxanias. Pakistanis. So congratulations.
Again, if your name's called out, we do have prizes. Come up and they'll be up at the front. We'll award those at the end, so make sure you come up here.
And for first place in the vault challenge this year, we have Bear Jump. Woo! Bear Jump's competed for many years. It's good to see his name at the first place, and congratulations. Next challenge, we have the scavenger hunt challenge.
Yeah, hold on. Go back. There's one other important mention here that we want to say is that the vault, the entire, hey, nice. I can see you all now. The vault has been brought to us by for many years by some of the best contributors to our community. It's the Snow Offensive Group. I want to make sure that they are recognized by their name and what they do. Snow Offensive, it's JC, Snow. They do an amazing job. I think that
Kyle.
it's and Kyle. Yeah, sorry. I think that this was the last year of the Snow Offensive version of the vault. So if the vault comes back next year, it's going to be different, or maybe the same but different. But as they kind of are fading out of doing the vault, we're hoping that they're going to do other things, and we'll talk to them about that. But we want to just give a special round of appreciation and love for your contributions to this long-running contest at SAINTCON, and we thank you.
I would take my hat off to you, but I was mugged in the hallway by a dinosaur, and he took my hat. Sorry, JC.
Okay, scavenger hunt. Another great contest we had this year, brought to us by Marv and his crew. And so I'm just going to announce their winners. We had a coolest turn-in, was by our friend Red Raven. What made this so cool was that it cut several inches off of her own head to turn in.
Hair, not head. Let's just clarify that.
Several inches off her hair, off her own head. Yes, yes. So there's a prize for Red Raven, so please come up afterwards. Second place in the scavenger hunt contest, third place in the scavenger hunt contest, we have Clinton J. Walker, and second place we have D3D. And our first place winner for scavenger hunt is Team Ramrod.
If you didn't look at the randomness of that list on the scavenger hunt, you should, because these guys found some random, weird stuff. Thanks, Marv.
There's your scoreboard for a moment. You got a lot tapering off, but our leaders definitely pulled ahead by a long ways. AppSec Challenge. We heard about them as a community. They stepped up the challenge this year and ran them two very separate and distinct and supporting each other, but they stepped up with the challenge and really delivered for people to play competitively. So we had a couple honorable mentions of individuals that visited the AppSec community and then played the challenge very diligently, and their efforts wanted to be noticed by the AppSec community and the challenge team. And so honorable mentions, we have White Capper and Taco Cat. As honorable mentions, there is a small prize, so please come up afterwards. Third place, we have Grimmer, and second place, we have Lego Clone. And first place in the AppSec Challenge, Dr. Dinosaur. There's your scoreboard for the AppSec Challenge.
Wait a minute. Seth Law took fourth place.
Imposters. Okay, Tamper Evident. It got mentioned as a community. They had a lot of fun, but they did run two challenges, a beginner challenge and an advanced challenge. And so we're going to highlight our first place. This is the first place, yes. First place in the beginner challenge, second place in the beginner challenge, we have Braden Corbridge. And first place in the beginner challenge, Mike Schaefer. So these were graded and scored based off of how untampered the results looked when they turned them in.
How evident it was that you had been in or moved. Like the beginner challenge was to move some tamper evidence stickers from one side of a piece of paper to the other. And so these people remove those void if removed that leave the word void. They remove those, move them to the other side of the sheet of paper, and you couldn't tell.
And on to the advanced challenge for tamper evident, we have Tooele City. And they...
Is that the whole city? Or
If you've lived in Tooele at any point in time in your life, you win.
It was a team of 2.
No, that's
Oh, wait,
awesome.
maybe not. I guess just the team.
And so finally, the Black Badge Challenge this year is the Hackers Challenge, as most years. And it was a fun game this year. If you hopefully you caught the Hackers Challenge Shakedown last hour, I won't be going reviewing it all. At this point, we're just going to name some names for our prize winners. Oh, yeah, you're right. I called them out. I'll call them out again because next year will be 10 years of me running the Hackers Challenge, and I've loved it.
Stop and pause. I will say that in those 10 years, the Hackers Challenge has leveled up every single year. How many of you can take your job and reinvent it completely every year for 10 years? It's no small feat that he says he's done it for 10 years. I talk about how the community's leveled up. The Hackers Challenge game levels up all the time. Josh is amazing in how he can reinvent this, but he also has great help that helps him. So I'm going to let him talk about them.
A couple years ago, I said I was done. You heard me up on the stage saying, hey, next year I'm not going to be here. Someone else needs to fill in. Well, Rigel and Santiago stepped up and said, hey, you can't quit. I made a coin. I published a coin with the Hacker Challenge and a date on it that said I was done. They said I can't quit. And they stepped
Collector's item.
They stepped in and really made this possible for me. They, as staff members, they help run the game, they help build the puzzles, and I'm sure you interacted with them this week. You played the Hacker Challenge, and I couldn't have done this without their help, and I really, really appreciate it. So, on to those of you that played and won and earned some prizes and the bragging rights. Our first mention is the Hacker Jeopardy trivia game. It's a sub-game that takes place in Hackers Challenge. We launch it midweek, and it's a whole category of like 30 puzzles. Well, there's probably close to 35 trivia questions. They're played like Jeopardy. It's amazing how much of this crowd does not know how to play Jeopardy. You answer in the form of a question, so starts with a W probably, and ends in a question mark. A hint for next year when you play Hackers Challenge. So, Nope Sled was our first person to complete the entire category. Blacked it out. All 35 puzzles in it. So, Nope Sled, congratulations. Oh, and if you ever want to open or bypass a lock that is locked, you're not going to use lockpicks. The answer in SAINTCON, if you're going to bypass a door, open a door that's been locked, is to use film strip. It's not an under the door tool. It's an over the door tool.
Thanks, Pope.
That was the #1 Hackers Challenge. That question had like 400 wrong answers on it. Okay, to announce our winners, we had a 3rd place winner that was showing up on the board as Blank. So, Blank, you may win the 3rd
If
place.
you can fill in the blank, you can win the prize.
Second place is Nope Sled. I'm going to fill in the blank to you. It was a Unicode character, left to right marker. I loved it. Nice play. This was a good friend of ours that many of us may know from hosting the password cracking village for us in previous years, our friend Q. So good job, Q, on 3rd place. And 1st place in the Hackers Challenge this year and winner of the Black Badge is Lego Clones. will you hand me that trophy right there? There's the trophy. No. I just want to show off the Hackers Challenge trophy and black badge for 2023. Congratulations, Lego clones.
I'd also like to point out that this black badge, not only is it black and cool, but it is autographed by the badge team, which will one day be worth more than the badge itself, just in case you're curious.
And that's all I have. Troy, the stage is yours.
Thank you.
Once again, please fill out the feedback, scan the QR code.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for all of your efforts of wrangling all of the contests, communities, events, and things that you've done this year. Nope. All right, we're on the home stretch here. Somebody's calling me again. It's Brigham City this time. It's amazing. Like, it'll tell you that it's a local call, but it'll always be a vendor from out of state. It is. You can't believe a phone call anymore. Yeah. At least I get the words potential spam across some of the numbers as they come through. That's it. That is an improvement over the way it was before. And hey, if you ever want to get a hold of me and you're going to call me on the phone, if you're not in my contacts, the best way to do it is send me a text before you call me. Then you'll have a chance of me answering the phone call, because I don't answer phone numbers. And I hope that you do something similar, because otherwise it gets crazy. Okay, sorry for that diversion. Last couple of things. I wanted to throw this back up just in case we needed to DDoS the Discord server again. Those of you that were here Wednesday morning heard that, they sent us an alert saying, hey, there's some raid or something going on your server. There's way too many people joining. This is weird. But we told them everything was okay, and so the CAPTCHAs and everything, I think, went away. But if you're not joined onto our Discord server, we encourage you to do so. There is a lot of community. There is a lot of fun banter. There's a lot of people that understand IT and security-related problems and issues and have a lot of empathy for what you might be going through that you can vent to or you can ask questions to and get probably some decent responses. It's a community of communities at this point. People from the 801 Labs community, the DC 435, the DC Squared communities, they all hang out here too, but they have their own communities as well. And so if there is something more local to you, wherever you are in your regions of where you live, whether that's in-state or now out-of-state or even in Sweden, make sure you find local community that you can engage with and hang out with. The DC Squared community, we'll give them kind of the just honorable mention award for the coolest recent upstart, and the growth of that community has been really super cool. So if you're in the northern-ish Utah area and you need a community to hang out with, DC Squared is really cool. And such, but I digress. Join a community, and find good people. And I think that the last slide on here that I've got, I mean, there's more we could go through, but we'll see what they are, is a thank you. Danny, are you in the room? Come on up, buddy. The first time you're going to see the stage at a SAINTCON, but it's time. And if you guys are okay with it, I'm going to ask him a couple of questions, so hand him a mic. I hope you're okay with me asking you a couple of questions.
I don't really have a choice, right?
Not really. Okay, I'm going to just take you back. I want one quick story of when we came and said that we wanted to do a HackerCon at the Utah Valley Convention Center. What were you thinking?
Oh, crap.
Okay, well, I just want to recognize not just Danny, who is the general manager of the Utah Valley Convention Center, and it's my understanding, at least the rumor is, that we're the only event that you actually decide that I want to manage this event. And he delegates all the other cool events that happen here to all of his other people, but he likes to manage this event. Is that right?
That is correct. I have 4 event managers. My background started in events doing this, and I love your guys' community so much that my event managers know SAINTCON is mine.
But we wanted to just make sure. We just wanted to make sure that you had an opportunity to be up here and hear from all of us, and especially me, our deep gratitude for the partnership and the time, the energy, and all the other things that we know that you guys put in to clean up after all of us, especially after today and things. But I also want to just say the partnership for making things affordable for us, like all of the sodas and other things that we have here has made our event super successful, and that's what we want to say thank you. So there you go.
Well, thank you.
And while he's walking away, I will add one more pitch, and it's not a paid promotion, but if you have a conference or an event or something that you would like to plan and think that this venue might work out for it, they are so cool to work with that they'll just make it easy for you. So I encourage you to do that. And so last slide I've got on here is welcome to SAINTCON. Let's get this party started again. I thank you for being here, for being part of our community, and for all of the contributions, for all of the things. And we'll be back next year. We'll be here. And we hope that you'll come back. So there you go. That's the end. All right. That's it. Thank you.